Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and wherever you're watching in the world, welcome along to Lobby D of Qualifying Night here for One Hub Racing season number 16, where we are here at the Bahrain Grand Prix, but obviously we're not doing it in the night, we're doing it in the daytime, where the track is going to be much warmer than before and in previous seasons as well. My name is Kieran McGinley, and joining me in the commentary box here for the final qualifying night lobby of tonight is the lovely Mr. Matt King. Matt, how are you tonight?
I'm a bit melty, but it's been a bit warm today, but other than that I'm good. I'm looking forward to this.
Has been a bit warm, hasn't it? I really don't envy the drivers. I'm sweating in the commentary box as we speak. I'm not actually driving these cars, so I can't really say how that's going to go down. But of course, if you're wondering where we've been, well, it's been such a long time, hasn't it? But finally, One Hub is back on a Friday night, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single race ever again. Matt, it's the brand new season. Obviously, we've got a lot to talk about in the build-up, but first of all, we have to say as well that we are sponsored by Next Level Racing, as always. But this time around, it's going to be awarded for the Going Gets Tough award. Now, this is a new award that's being handed out this time around for Next Level Racing, and it's for all drivers can qualify for this one, and it basically rewards drivers for turning up, finishing races, even when, as the title suggests, the going gets tough. So it really tries to promote drivers to stick around, to keep going, even when things maybe are not going their way on the track. I think that's a great idea, and that's the prize on offer for the driver who can prove to everybody that that is the case. So fantastic there from Next Level Racing. And I believe as well, Matt, One Hub have made another signing.
Yes, they have. It's been a bit short off season, but busy, as they've also acquired the sponsorship of Liam13, who can be checked out on Twitch. Will always stream his point of view, and didn't tonight because he wanted to concentrate on his quali lap. But you can check him out at twitch.liam13, I think.
That's it. Yep. Yeah. As well as that, he's sponsoring the trophies that the drivers are being rewarded with at the end of the season, so that should be fantastic to see. So very much a thank you to Next Level Racing and Liam13 for sponsoring season 16 of Next Level Racing. So hopefully everything goes to plan and everything is just going to be fantastic for this season. I'm already hyped. And Matt, obviously this is your first time in a One Hub commentary box. It's much warmer than maybe you would have expected, but are you happy to be here first of all?
Yeah, very happy to be here. It's always good to do this and check out and maybe learn some new lines or different to try and improve my own driving standards, well not standards but pace and stuff like that. So yeah, very happy to be here and thank you for having me.
Well, I mean, it's great to have you in the commentary box. Hopefully you'll put up with me for the rest of the night. Fingers crossed anyway. So when we get to the qualifying night, obviously we've got, well, 20 drivers in this lobby. There have been a couple of changes and switch arounds at the last minute, which is always the case in qualifying night. But what the important thing is, there were two or three drivers, I think, two drivers, my apologies, that were meant to be in this lobby, but they are not here because they've already done a qualifying night. So we had Fring, who the Swiss Frenchman, and we also had, I believe that's Griel, I think that is. It's French, so French is not my strong point, but Griel was meant to be here as well. But both of them have already completed their qualifying night, hence the reason they're not here tonight. But looking at who we have got left, I mean, it's going to be an exciting qualifying night. We saw in the last lobby, at the 7:30 session, 24.9. So that is a huge time to beat here, isn't it, Matt?
It is, but there's a few people in this lobby that are more than capable of doing that, so we'll see exactly how they get on. Not going to put any pressure on them, but they know who they are.
But who would you pick out as a potential driver to watch here in qualifying night?
You've got to look out for Khalifa. That boy is actually from Bahrain, so we'll be more than happy to have qualifying night around his home track.
Yeah, and it's always great to have a home advantage, isn't it? Not many drivers you get from Bahrain, so it's great to see him here representing his home country at his home track here in qualifying night. So maybe he's going to get that big home advantage that everybody will love to have. We're now counting down into the last qualifying night session of tonight, so hopefully we'll get to see those great lap times on the board. Obviously we would talk about standings, Matt, but we haven't actually had a race yet, so what we could talk about is some of the drivers that are here in tonight's session. Now I believe in this session we have Everhainen, which is always a pain for me to pronounce, and he always calls me out for it. However, he is the current podium tier champion. We've also got Jarno in this session, who is the current precision tier champion. And obviously last season it was the 3 tiers. Now we've added the extra prospect tier, which is going to be the tier at 6:15 on a Friday night. I mean, we've got 2 champions here in one qualifying night. That in itself is fantastic.
That is, I mean, you shouldn't need to hype up races, but if you need to, that's your tagline right there.
Well, absolutely. It's not even a race, and yet I'm hyping it up like there's no tomorrow. We've also got the likes of Dexter, Josh, Westy, just to name a few out of this quick bunch. So I'm looking forward to seeing what sort of lap times they can set in tonight's session. And don't forget, make sure you get those comments in, because we are running the brand new TAS system. So that's going to be fantastic to see, and hopefully obviously it's been affected by the hot weather, as we all have. So hopefully it gets up and running very, very shortly. But it's fantastic to have the telemetry. I believe it's the it's the TAS, to have it in each race, telemetry analysis system, which is oriented for leagues like this. It allows us commentators to have more information than we maybe normally would during a race, but it also allows you to put commands in the chat to tell TAS what you want to know, and TAS then answers with that specific information. So it makes it more interactive, and it makes it much more intuitive, much more engaging race to watch, because you don't have to ask a commentator, what's this person doing, what's their lap time like, how many, everything like that, what's their fastest lap. Now you can find that out using the instructions there, which hopefully will be in the chat very, very shortly. But you can ask for, it will give us a chance to have fastest sectors, fastest lap times, wing damage percentage, tyre wear percentage, tyres used, penalties, overtakes, fuel, ERS, and a whole lot more. So I'm really excited to use that system, and hopefully we get to use it in this session.
Yeah, it's all there at the touch of a couple of buttons, I think. And yes, while it's nice for people to ask commentators what driver A is doing, now you can just find out by pressing the prompts and the TAS. So you can essentially just check things that even we can't tell you split second. So yeah, it's a very good season. I'm looking forward to implementing it as well.
Absolutely, and obviously we all know what I'm like with a camera. I'm going to miss something, so now it's your chance not to miss anything. That's the way it works. Anyway, qualifying night is underway, and if you're not familiar with the qualifying night schedule and how everything works, well, the drivers simply get a half-hour practice session, is basically what it is, set up in the lobby, but it's a chance for them to go at their own pace in these half an hour. The half an hour is basically free to be used however way you like. However, the catch is that only the lap time, your fast lap time on the set of the soft tyres, will count. So that's the important thing. If you set your fastest lap time on the mediums or on the hard tyres, it does not count. Only counts on the soft tyre. Then that lap time will then be used to help put you in a tier for the rest of the season. So qualifying night has, season after season, given us fantastic grids to watch, and especially for me, fantastic races to watch as well. So it clearly works, and I'm really excited to see once again how qualifying night shakes up the grid this time around.
Yeah, there's a few people already on a lap, and I think Bisas is the first soft runner to start a lap. If you want to check out his progress, there's a few people out there on mediums, which, as you said, won't count, but it's good for getting their iron and feeling their way around the track just to get some rubber down.
Absolutely, and apparently out on the track, even we can see this, the air temperature is 29 degrees, the track temperature is 36, so it's nice and toasty out there. Do you know what, the track temperature is almost as warm as my commentary box So it's pretty warm out there, but what that does mean in this daylight, because it's obviously not at night, the track temperature is up maybe a few degrees, so that could affect how the tyres behave in this session. As you can see, Josh there has just gone purple through sector 2, 37.3, currently though on the medium tyres. Looking around here, we've got Lakitu, 28.1 through the first sector. That's been beaten by Khalifa on a 27.9. Meanwhile, we're joining Josh for the final stint now onto the start-finish straight to set the first lap of qualifying night. 26.7 from the Renault driver there, and that puts him, of course, on provisional first place, obviously because he's the first man to set a lap time out on track. Hamilton across the line then, 27.7 from the Haas driver. Glock now goes top of the table, 26.3. Now that's the first quote-unquote valid lap time of the session, with a 26.3 there from Glock. There's still a bit more time, I think, to find there from Glock, considering we've seen lots of 25s in the qualifying nights. I think we should be able to see the same.
Yeah, there'll be plenty more times like that coming, I'm sure of that. But in the early session, in the stage of the session, we'll just have a few people trundling around getting some rubber down and just setting slight bank times, I guess, just so they have some delta for themselves more than anything.
Well, absolutely, yeah, and we've seen their Glock get the fastest laps so far. We've also got a couple of cars making their way towards the line. Now, it's a Mercedes pulling over for a Ferrari, I think it is, or it's an Alfa Romeo. I'm going to get those. I'm going to get those icons mixed up well and truly. But anyway, it is Dex making his way towards that start-finish line. Let's see what sort of lap he sets. It's P5, 27.5 there from the Alfa Romeo, and hopefully. We were discussing this before, Matt. Hopefully, this is a session where he can really kick-start his one-hub season.
Yeah, he's going to be looking to get some really good times on the board just to get his confidence up, because I know he's been struggling in a couple of other leagues and races of late, so this will be a perfect opportunity for him to get his confidence back and get that spark back. And I know he's a really good driver and very quick on his day, so hopefully this will be one hook starting point for him.
Yeah, absolutely, and hopefully he will be able to pick up that momentum early on in the season as well. We've got a Haas heading towards the line. I'm just trying to figure out who that is at the moment. Can't work it out just yet. Well, it's going to be one of two drivers, I reckon. So it's going to be De Boer, I think it is, because Hamilton's in the pits there. So I'm assuming this is De Boer coming into the pits, and it is making his way in now. Looking at a couple of other drivers, there's a Mercedes heading towards the line. Is that Eva Heinen? It's not, actually. It's Lakitu, who now finds his way into the pit lane. And obviously there's a few colours that look the same out there on the track. I'm talking about the Red Bull and the Alpha Tauris, and then the Ferraris and the Alfa Romeo. So hopefully this TAS system helps me get it more right. I'm not saying I will get it right every time, because that's just the human element, i.e. me, but at the same time, hopefully the plan is that it works. There is Eva Heinen coming towards the line then, and sets a 27.2 on those soft tyres. That puts him P5 in the standings. Of course, standings in this session don't really mean a lot. It's the lap time that's the most important thing. And right now, a 27.2, there's definitely more time to find, but as this session goes on, more rubber gets put down on the track. And so, in theory, faster lap times at the end of the session.
Yeah, you'll definitely find a lot more time through there. And it's key to remember that it doesn't matter where you are in this session. You could be 20th, and that means absolutely little, because it's just about which T you're going to be in. So drivers should do well to remember that, and hopefully that takes a little bit of pressure off and think, I'm only 20th. Well, no, not really.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a Ferrari, I believe that is, just starting a lap time. It's Beastus, and who's that around the runway?
Oh dear, Claudia's gone as well.
I've lost my cursor on the left-hand side, but yes, that is Cloudy Balloons around in the Williams there, and that's also an Alfa Romeo around as well, as Cloudy Balloons drops it yet again.
Yeah, they're both practicing the donuts for the end of the season championship, right? Yes.
I think so, and that was also, I believe it was King Hoffner had an off there as well. So unfortunate for him, but he's back on track now. You can see there the dirt on his tyres there from the gravel, so that was definitely Hoffner off the track there. In the meantime, though, Glock still tops the table, 26.3, but we are expected to see faster lap times in this session as the session goes on, as there are a little bit more rubber out on the track as well. Hopefully, should give us a chance as Hoffner gets it a little bit wrong through turn 10 there. And interesting with turn 10, it's from turn 9 into 10. 9 is flat out, but then becomes the braking zone for turn 10, and it's caught out the likes of even 7-time champion Michael Schumacher, who had a big lock up there, I believe in 2011, all those years ago. And so if you get it wrong through there, just take some solace in the fact that one of the most decorated drivers in Formula 1 also got it wrong as well.
It's a quick time there from the Ferrari Spy at 27.0. That's a 5th overall in the session, but 4th overall on terms of soft tyre run, so that's pretty good for a start. But yeah, turn 10 is the problem for a lot of drivers up and down the grid in every league, I think.
Absolutely, we've got Hamilton who's now making his way in towards turn 10. Yeah, that's the Racing Point just getting out of the way there as De Boer now starts a flying lap heading down towards turn 1. There's a Red Bull as well. That was Midnight now starting his flying lap. Josh has just set the fastest first sector so far in this session, so let's have a ride on board with him as he makes his way through turn 8 now. Riding on board as we head through 9 and 10. He set a 27.3 through the first sector and went purple. Now in towards turn 10. Now the sector 2 line is just beyond these Rolex signs here. You can see there he's trying to get the slipstream of Sippy there as we now make our way towards the sector 2 line, making our way now in towards turn 11. And my apologies, it's a bit further up the hill than I remember, as it's now making our way round turn 12. Let's see what his middle sector is like here. And it's come through 36.7, so he's gone purple again as we now make our way down the hill towards the final, well, 2 corners as we make our way through. Josh's first sector has just been beaten, by the way, by Westy, who set a 27.5. But here comes Josh towards the line. Let's see what this lap is going to be. This should be top of the table, and it is a 25.4 there from the Renault driver. Let's have a look at Westy, because he's on a flyer as well. He set the fastest first sector so far, and he's looking to try and build on that as much as he possibly can. 27.5 through that first sector. And we've got Lakitu there, who's got the best in the second sector, 21.3 from him. And yeah, Westy's made a mistake because it's 36. Oh, sorry, I was reading that wrong. He's not made a mistake. He's still on it. 36.8 so far. Now making his way down the hill. This still has the potential to top the table. He did go purple through sector 1. Now making his way towards the line. Can the Red Bull get himself well and truly up the order as the ERS just runs out of deployment? 25.8 there. So he did lose some time in that third sector. And looking at it, yeah, it just seemed to not be on the pace there for the second and third sector, but first sector he's got it nailed down to a T.
Yeah, I was having that problem earlier, to be honest. I was nailing one sector and then messing up slightly in the other, so I couldn't quite nail the perfect lap round here, but maybe he's just taking it easy just so he can improve later, I don't know, but it's a good time for now anyway.
Absolutely, as Glock has just crossed the start-finish line. He's taken third place now, 25.842 with that lap time. So we're seeing high 25, so the track is getting better and better as the session progresses, which is going to be a common theme as we are going to head our way through. But just over halfway to go in this session, 18 minutes and 30 seconds, and it is Josh leading the way, 25.4 from the Renault driver. It's Westy second with Glock in third. Pat there across the line, 26.0 from the Racing Point, and I think actually did go purple through that final sector. We saw it on the map there, and that is exactly the case. 21.2 from the Racing Point there, so a great final sector from him. You can just need to build that for the rest of the lap. We've got a Williams out there. Let's see who it is. It's Cloudy Balloons making his way around the final corner. And he's on the medium tyres, and he's been on these medium tyres for some time. I think he's just focusing on race pace and qualifying night. Oh, absolutely madness, absolute madness. We've got looks like someone. Let's try and find someone with a flying lap right now. As Lewis has just gone second place there, 25.4. He went purple through the middle sector, and then it was just slightly off in the other sectors as well, but not entirely off the pace for sure, because sector 3 was only 200ths off the best time in this session so far, so he's definitely got some time to find, and he could definitely have the potential to maybe get even into those low, or I should say high 24s.
Yeah, he's definitely on the right track there. I was going to say Beast has on a lap, but he's still on medium tyres, so he's invalidated as well, so that's no point going to him.
Yeah, so that...
Hoffner's out of VRS.
That's
and
very
fuel,
true.
So he's probably hit him, but he is on softs, so that's the right tyre at least. But Spy's on a lap, I think.
Yeah, let's have a look as we make our way now in towards that turn 4 there, now through turn 5, and it's always a tricky section, that one. Now heading into this S section as we head now through turn 7, then down the hill towards turn 8, riding on board with that Ferrari. And let's have a look and see how he's doing on his laps so far. He's set a 28.1 so far, so that's slightly off from what we've seen so far in this session. But now making his way in towards that DRS zone, down now towards turn number 11. What's interesting as well, because it is technically a practice session, all 3 ERS modes are available for deployment, so you can just sneak in a little bit of overtake deployment if you need to, but of course that drains the battery much quicker than the hot lap mode, which is designed to keep going and to give you the best deployment throughout the entire section. So we could see some pretty quick lap times. Here comes then the Ferrari of SIP, making his way now in towards the final 2 corners. Yep, these are 2 corners. Now heading towards that start-finish line, and this looks like it's going to be an abandoned lap then from the Ferrari, still with a current best lap time of a 27.0.
I'm sure he'll have more time to find. Like I've said that a few times this session already, but I feel like he'll be up there as well. There's a lot of people in the 26s at the moment, so that's definitely tight to you wherever they end up.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how you call it. I don't know how to pronounce that, but
well, give it your best shot for sure. This is your chance to try.
I mean, I can't call him Eva Hannon anymore because he's changed it. But maybe I'll just call him Eva Hannon and then have him tell me how it's meant to be pronounced, and then I'll correct myself next time.
That sounds like a plan, do you know what? That does sound like a plan. Midnight comes across the line, 26.0, and improving there up to 5th place now for the Red Bull driver. Just seeing now for these lap times, it is just still with the fast lap of 25.4 at the moment, but I have to say, Lewis has the fastest middle sector of all, and it is Pat who still has the fastest last sector of them all. So no one driver is completely dominant in this one so far, but I tell you what, I'm looking forward to seeing this track evolve even more, because that definite low, or I keep saying low 24. Low 24 would be absolutely insane, but a high 24 would be just as insane.
Yeah, you say Josh is quickest. Have you seen the gap between him and Lewis now?
I have.
5 thousandths is a little bit mad.
just a tad mad, that is for sure. But yeah, we are trying to get. I'm trying to get my head around this TAS system, which is fantastic. But it's a lot when you have to look at one screen. Then I've probably missed what's actually happened out on track. But it's going to take some getting used to, that's for sure. Lakitu has just set a lap time there, 25.7 from the man in the Mercedes. 0.3 off the fastest time so far, with still 13 minutes of the session left. So plenty of time to regroup and put on a new set of tyres and go for it once again. Now, obviously, when you get to this session, you're given a choice of what sort of tyre strategy you want. Now, you're going to look a bit. You're going to have egg on your face if you decide that you're going to have the balanced tyre strategy. If you don't go for the softer tyre strategy, hopefully most of these drivers have gone for that one.
Well, I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter what you go for. You're still going to get at least one set of mediums anyway for the practice sessions. But you might as well, for this session, just go softer, and then you've got at least 3 sets to play with.
Yeah, Jarno is just across the line then, 26.3 from him, now in 11th place in this qualifying night, as we've seen a lot of people now leaving the pit lane. Well, Flavel, the man from Jersey, has just left the pit lane. He's out now on a set of soft tyres. There he is in towards turn 1, and now making his way through that first section. Man from Jersey hasn't set a lap time just yet in this session. Still 12 minutes to go, so still plenty of time on his side. But he has been out on the track on a set of medium tyres and then come back in. So he's just looking to try and get this optimum time, this optimum track as well, as he is a quick driver and he needs to prove himself once again in this one. Hopefully he'll be able to put everything out on the track and keep it there. I know he's a quick driver, and let's see what the man from Jersey can do in this qualifying night, as Lewis has just set his personal best through Sector 1 of a 27.5. It's not the quickest of the session, but it's certainly his personal best. Let's see if we can ride on board with the Williams driver as he now makes his way onwards now towards turn 11. Chucking this car in on the left-hand side, and be careful of taking that right-hand side curve because it can so easily upset the car now through turn 12 and now towards turn 13. You can see getting onto the curb there through the middle sector. Purple now through sector 2 with a 36.4, but got a bit wayward on the exit there as he now makes his way now down towards the final 2 corners, braking hard now just after the 100-metre board now through the final corner, keeping that wheel spin in check and heading towards the line. DRS now wide open on the Williams, and a 25.3 from Lewis puts him at the top of the table.
Nice lap there, very nice lap, and yeah, can't say much more than that, but good job.
Yeah, still more time to find though. He set his personal best through Sector 1, but still didn't set his personal best through Sector 3. So for Lewis, there's still more time to find, and he'll know that. He's that kind of driver that he'll know that that wasn't the quickest lap he can do. So even with a 25.3 on the board, he'll want to go even quicker than that. Just have a look at the current lap times right now. We've got someone on a lap time. Lakito is actually on a flying lap right now, but he's come back into the pits. He didn't set any personal best through the first or second sector, so it's understandable why he's abandoned that lap attempt. Pat here now making his way through the final corner and onwards towards the start finish line. He's now coming into the pits as he has set a 25.8 so far, still holding on to that fastest sector 3 of any driver in this session so far. So great stuff from him.
Yeah, it's always given me a bit of a boost if I've got a purple sector at any point of the session. It's like, yeah, I can do this.
Yeah, it's always nice, isn't it? It's always very, very nice to have that sort of confidence behind you. So let's see how he gets on in the rest of the session. Perhaps he'll pull out 2 more purple sectors and get himself the fastest lap of this session. Who knows? We've got Glock out here who's just gone, I believe, is that purple through sector 1? Oh no, it's not, it's green through sector 1, 27.5, but 0.2 off the best so far, which has been set by Josh M. But now he's making his way through turns 9 and 10 now, braking hard now for turn 10. Look at that, nice and easy into 10 there. That's exactly what you want now, heading underneath this signage here and onwards towards 11 and 12, braking hard now. Pretty much just before the 50-metre board. You can keep the car pretty much locked in here as you now head in towards turn 12, and again it can be very skittish if you've not set up the car right. Let's see what sort of time Glock is set. It's a 36.9 through that middle sector, so it's about half a second off the best in this session so far. And now heading down the hill towards the final 2 corners. Can Glock improve on his time through the final sector, heading towards the start finish line? Can he get himself up the order? Can he get a better time on the board? He can by 0.043 seconds, but those 0.43 seconds could mean the difference.
They could, yeah, especially if you're in that little real estate of 3rd down to about 7th. There's a lot of time that can, if you find like even half a tenth, you could jump a few positions, so that could be key. You're right there. And we'll see what they do in the final 8 minutes 45 seconds.
Yeah, Westy's just set his personal best there, 25.6 from the Red Bull driver. Josh is not far off his own fastest lap time of the session because he's only a couple of hundredths down through sector 1 as we head through sector 2, 36.7, which is not far off his personal best, but so far he's slightly down, maybe give or take half a tenth here as he makes his way down towards the final corner. Let's see if he can pull something back through this final sector as he now heads towards the start finish line. He's carrying on with the lap, so he must be green in his delta, and he is 25.3 from Josh then, puts him up to second place, and there's a tenth there that he's found through the final sector.
Yeah, I mean, you're always exploring in sessions like this to see if you can pick up a tenth here, but then if you lose it somewhere else, you kind of just put it all together in the end. And it's shaping up to be a fantastic final few minutes. Keep it up, boys. This is brilliant.
Absolutely, and Harry now is on a flying lap as he makes his way down towards turn 1, and he's currently set a 26.0, and that's actually his personal best of the session so far, so good for him. He's actually just finished his qualifying lap is what I meant to say, but I didn't. Anyway, Skeven is currently 4th with a 25.7. It would have been a good lap for him to try it, but he invalidated his lap halfway through, so that was unfortunate for him. So we make our way into the final 7 minutes of the session. I mean, Matt, are the 24s possible? Are they reachable?
I think they can be reachable, yeah, but you're going to have to find something very special to do it. Maybe Cloudy can do it, because he's finally on soft tyres. We'll see what he's got as he's approaching turn 10.
Absolutely. The man who's got to set a lap time of some sort is Flavel. Hasn't set a lap time at all so far in this session. And as you can see here, Lewis, a bit of a lock-up through turn 10 there. He has set his personal best through the first sector as he now makes his way onwards now down that back straight towards turn 11. And it's a long, long time before you get to find out pretty much how you're going to be planning that car and how it's going through. Now we go in towards turn 12 and now across that second sector line. He's slightly down on his time through sector 2, but let's see if he keeps on with this lap, because if it's not going well this lap, he needs to pit in, because otherwise if he keeps going with this lap, he's going to leave it very, very tight to get out there once again for another soft tyre run. He's electing to stay out, so he obviously thinks there's some time to find here, and just missed out on improving by 0.04 of a second. He went purple through that final sector. That's why he wanted to stay out there. A 21.2 from Lewis there. So he has now the fastest second and now the fastest third sector of anyone so far.
There you go, that's what you want to do. Put it all together, and Ollie's back in for one final run. He'll be out shortly. Cody didn't do very much on his lap, but I got a feeling he wasn't going all out for it. He was just trying to make a better time on the softs.
Yeah, we've got Pat there, who's now gone third fastest, 25.6 from him, and he actually took that fastest sector 3 time back. So he's obviously set up that racing point to be absolutely lightning quick through the third sector. So great to see. We just need to string it together for the rest of them, because in terms of best lap time, he's losing half a second before he gets to the final sector.
Yeah, an interesting one about setups around here is you've got a couple of straights, but there's some high-speed corners as well. So do you sacrifice a little bit through the corners just to have ultimate top speed, or do you just dial it back a bit and have a little bit more drag so you can actually get the turning through the corners? It's an interesting one.
Yeah,
but everyone has different styles.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've got Don de Boer there, who has gone 16th fastest, a 26.6 on his previous lap time. So that now puts him into 16th. And now I wonder, these 24s are looking more and more distant at the moment for these drivers. But I have to say, with the pace and the talent we've got in this field, there should be a good chance. Ava Haynen has actually retired now from the session with his best lap time of a 26.5.
Well, maybe he feels he can't do better than that, or maybe he's used all his time, I'm not sure. But in any event, that's his session over.
Yeah, absolutely. 4 minutes to go then of qualifying night and the final lobby of tonight's proceedings. And if you've enjoyed this, just feel like how you're going to enjoy the first race of a brand new season. Don't forget, 21st of August is the first round. The Dutch Grand Prix, it was announced a few days ago that would be the opening session, or the season opener, that's what I meant to say, of the brand new season, season 16. So don't miss it, 21st of August. Go for your favourite tier. And of course, if you are interested in possibly racing at some point in the near future, don't forget to check out the website at onehubracing.com, and you can also find the Twitter and Instagram handles of the same name, One Hub Racing. So go follow the accounts there. We've just got under 3.5 minutes to go. Lewis is still top, 25.3, ahead of Josh, 25.3 as well, but just off by 0.2 of a second. We've got Beasthurst there, who has gone 25.9 up into 8th place, so not bad from him. Let's see what he can do in this final session. He's going to leave it very late, though, to try and get back out there with enough time to set another lap. Yeah,
time management is also a factor that you have to consider when maybe you're doing a lap. Maybe you're handling it just to get that extra run at the end, or you carry on and think, this is it, no matter what I've got now. It's really up to a lot of different people how they manage that.
Here comes Glock then. Personal best through sector 2 as he makes his way towards the line. Now goes third fastest, 25.5 from the Renault driver, and that will probably be his last chance of getting a good time on the board. Went purple through Sector 2, so good lap time from him. In fact, sorry, Sector 3 he went purple. So a good ending to the lap there, and that's got him a mid-25, which, looking at the rest of the field, is going to be pretty tight as to what tier he's going to be in. We've seen a lot of quick times today.
Yeah, we certainly have, and I've got a feeling we're going to see some quicker times very shortly as well in this session. There's quite a few people out on track now, and I'm sure they'll find some time somewhere.
I'm sure they will. Skeven is one of those out there right now. He set a 27.5 through the first sector, which is only 200ths off his, in fact 2,000ths off his personal best in the session. He's then just gone his personal best through Sector 2, so he's now found a 10th. So it could be up there for a 25.6 if he can hook up the rest of this lap. And now heading towards that start-finish line. What's this lap going to be then from Skeven? Can he improve? Yes, he can, by 700ths of a second. 25.717 from Skeven. So the fact that he hasn't got a 25.6, he'll be a bit down about that.
If Hamilton goes to 8th with a 25.8, another one in the 25 club, this is going to be very, very difficult for some people to figure out who goes where.
Yeah, absolutely. And Flavel as well. Yeah, Flavel 14th, 26.5. That's not a lap time you would associate with him, so he's obviously not happy. He's obviously not happy with the car. Whatever's happened there, you would not see him with a mid-26.
No, I mean, I was going to say he's got time to improve, but I don't think he has looking at his fuel level. I think he might be done for the session.
I think he will be. And there's Beast there now setting a 25.7, so another driver into the 25s.
Khalifa's round. Khalifa's had a bit of a problem with his front end facing the wrong way there. Never mind.
Yeah, he's in the gravel trap. That's a 26.3 from Khalifa there. So
he was improving as well when he went off. So.
Yeah, he was. He'd set his personal best through the first sector, so he was there to try and improve. We've got a couple of laps to keep an eye on here, as we've got Josh, who set his personal best through Sector 1, now going through Turn 10. Also trying to keep an eye on Lewis as well, who's now going down the start-finish straight. So he's timed this to perfection now. Let's see what Josh can do through the middle sector. Glock is now retired from this session with a 25.585. Pat has just gone his personal best through Sector 1. So he's found himself just under a 10th of a second. Josh now heading his way through the last couple of corners now. His personal best now 36.6. So there's time to find here for Josh as he now makes his way down towards the final two corners. This may not be the best lap of the session, but it might just be enough to get him and challenge him for the top tiers now. Heading his way towards that start-finish line. Here comes Josh to the line. It's a 25.301 from Josh there. Let's see who else is on a flying lap right now. Pat was on the lap.
Don de Boer's had an off at 11. Nah, so he won't be going any further. And yep, there you go. Garden Dragon don't meant to do that, but never mind.
Oh,
don't think it'll matter in the final set.
Yeah, Pat there found himself in a load of traffic going through turn 12. Now he's going through the final couple of corners and onwards now towards the start-finish line. He did set his personal best through the first sector, a couple of tenths off through the middle sector, and overall a 10th down on his previous best. Now let's have a look at Lewis here. He's just gone purple through Sector 2 now as he makes his way down towards the final couple of corners. He might even try and benefit from the slipstream of Yarnell here as he heads towards that start-finish line. Is this the 24 we've been waiting for? No, it's not. We're denied by a 10th of a second. But Lewis there with the quickest time of the day in this session at least. 25.1 from him. And we just have one more car to cross the line, and it is Hoffner here, who's down in P18, 26.9 from him so far. And looking at his lap times there, yeah, he said a 58 seconds, so this isn't a flying lap for him, but that will probably do it. That will do it, actually, for qualifying night entirely. And the fastest person in Lobby D is Lewis there with a 25.1. Not the quickest lap of the day, but it's going to be a quick lap to get him up there for that pinnacle tier, and it's going to be so, so tough to decide who makes the cut.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have that job or responsibility.
I think I'm glad we both don't have it, because that's absolutely fantastic. But yes, that is the end of qualifying night and of this session. We just have around 50 seconds before. Oh, no, we're going to end it now. But there is your fastest driver of Lobby D. It is Lewis there with a 25.1. Just missing out on those 24s, but at least we know now that they are possible. There is Josh M then, 25.3. Lakitu, 25.4. Glock there, 25.5 with Pat, 25.6. Westy also a 25.6 with Skeven, 25.7. Beast also 25.7, Harry 25.8, Hamilton also a 25.8, Midnight 25.9, Yarnell 26.3, Khalifa 26.3, Flavel 26.5, Ava Hanen 26.5, Sip 26.5, I'm spotting a pattern here, Don de Boer 26.6, Hoffner 26.9, Dex at 27.2 and Cloudy Balloons 27.4. So bit of a mixture of ability, bit of a mixture of times here, but there's definitely a lot to account for each tier, that is for sure. So hopefully the drivers have done all they can now. It's now up to the admins to decide where they go from here. And honestly, I don't envy you, Matt. I'd much rather be in the commentary box than out there in the searing heat. Well, actually, it's about 32 in here now, so I'm not sure if that's true anymore. But anyway, but who stands out to you as a driver to watch out for next season in that lobby alone?
Oh, well, the guys that have gone like quickest in the day, especially in this tier, in this lobby, definitely the top three are definitely ones to watch out for as well. And they're always so evenly matched as well, all the way down at times. So yeah, it's definitely interesting to find out where they're going to be and who's going to do what.
Absolutely.
When the season gets going.
Well, that'll do it here for qualifying night. So hopefully you have enjoyed your stay here with us. Make sure as well you subscribe to the channel down below. Hit the notification bell so you're notified every time we go live. Thank you to our sponsors in Next Level Racing and Liam13. You can also check them out as well. But from us in the commentary box, it's very warm up here, so we're probably going to go into an ice bath at some point, eh, Matt?
Yep, together.
Together, oh, absolutely. We share a commentary box, we share ice baths all the time. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. I've been Kieran McGinley.
And I've been indecisive, I think. I'm not sure. We'll
Take
get
care
back to you on that one. Good night.
Take care of yourselves. We'll see you next time.